Hello everyone, going to make this one somewhat short. It's just going to be a slightly little informative video on what's going on with margin trading and what is margin trading. Well, so to be pretty, precise here, margin trading is simply investing through the use of borrowing money. So it is not money that you actually have, it's not capital you own, but you're borrowing it to pay for investments. You'll find one thing which I am huge about. It is I very much dislike debt. And to me, this margin investing or borrowing money that isn't yours to buy investments, it is debt. If you think about it, because you are taking money that you have to pay back. Now, if you think of it from a specifically trading standpoint, if you think about that and you make a bad investment with that money you've borrowed, you're going to have to pay that out of pocket now. And not only that, you're going to be paying the interest off that too. You're going to be paying the interest off what you borrowed, and you're also going to be paying back the money that you lost because you made a bad investment decision. That's not to say you can't necessarily make money off of margin trading. You certainly can. But if you want to think about worst case scenarios, or really just any bad scenarios, what happens if things go sour? You reach a market correction in the middle of your margin trading, you know what I mean? Then you're just paying the interest in the meantime and not making any money off these investments. If you're in a recession type scenario, you're not making any money off your investments. You're paying interest rates of around 3.5% off the money you're borrowing. It's not a good situation. And you can really connect that to any part of life as well. So not necessarily just as far as margin trading, which, again, I explained it. That's why I don't like margin trading. I'm not a huge fan of debt. I think in personal life, too, as far as just normal financing goes, anything you can do to refuse or resist borrowing money, it's the best option you have, no matter what that can be. I always think about this too. If you watch any sort of television, you'll always see commercials. Every single commercial break, you're going to get at least a car commercial. One thing to consider when you're looking at those vehicle commercials is those car companies really aren't trying to sell you the car. They're trying to sell you a loan for that car. They want you to finance that vehicle. There's a good reason why. Because it puts you in debt to them, and they are getting more money off of that vehicle than they were before. Because they can sell that loan to banks. So really, that dealership is making money off of selling you that financing plan, which is why when I purchased my vehicle, I bought it outright in cash. I bought it right then and there, no payments to worry about, because not only am I going to pay more on investment if I do actually, pay it over time, I'm getting played by the dealership there. I'm getting what they want. They want me to pay more. They want me to take that loan out, so that way I'm indebted. I am not a fan of that. I rather would just have my assets, and you know what? I own them now. Obviously, that'll come time. I'm going to be potentially purchasing a house this upcoming year, so it'll definitely be changing in the near future as far as me having debt, actually, technically, because I will be taking out a mortgage for a house. I don't have enough just to cover a house outright, but I have enough for a very good down payment, and my goal is going to be put as big of a down payment as so my mortgage can be as little as possible, because I don't want to be paying all that much and not for too long. I don't want to be paying off a house for 30 years. It's really not the goal. The longer you pay off that house, the more interest you're paying on it, on that loan. So it's a real good reason why I'm not a fan of loans, and that really just, comes back to the whole point of margin trading. It's a loan they're giving out to you. Nothing frustrates me more than these, don't worry about your credit, come get these quick cash loans, J.G. Wentworth, stuff like that. It's so frustrating because it plays to the hands of the people who are going to be misusing that money. And that's my fear too, with margin trading, is someone's going to misuse that and put it all into a speculative stock, lose it all, and then they end up way shorter than they were before, because not only is this money they didn't have, they have to pay it back now, but they're also paying interest on it. I mean, same thing, in normal life too, just your normal financing. When people take out loans for absolute just crazy reasons, and they know that they can't pay it back, it's just bothersome to me. That's my opinion on it. I hate being frustrated, but something just frustrates me of that they're even allowed to speedy cash. They're allowed to even advertise that stuff. It's crazy to me. But moral of the story: don't trade on margin, please. It just breeds bad habits. Use your money for your investments. You don't need anyone else's money for your investments, okay? And if you don't have enough money, you don't think you have enough money to invest, there's no reason to be trading, to be borrowing money so you can't invest, because you won't have money to pay it back in case the worst case scenario happens. So use your capital to invest, please. That's my suggestion for the day. Hey.